Women are leading the way in the great resignation. Here's what it means for employers and job seekers. Well, starting off, I've done a couple videos about this before. Of course, women are leading this she session because they don't work as many hours as men, as I shared in a previous video, and they don't like to work for each other. What do I mean? The jobs in which women actually work for each other, which is daycare, hospitality, because women indulge in hospitality services a little bit more. Women are more likely to go out with brunch with their friends, and women are more likely to work for and depend on daycare services. How do I know what I'm talking about? Because my mother had her own daycare facility, and she also worked at a commercial facility. She worked at KinderCare for almost 5 to 6 years, and she told me about the constant women that were late picking up their children, the constant kids that did not have clean clothes, and these were women typically that got subsidized service, because you know who a subsidized service, because if you get subsidized service, they're paid by the month. And what would happen was there's usually a penalty if you don't pick up your child on time. There will be a late fee, but these women would never pay the late fees and would always be complaining about something. This is not my opinion. This is my mom. Now, with that experience that my mom was telling me about, combine that with so many women not wanting to work in the daycare facilities anymore. Who would want to work for the daycare facilities when the children are not disciplined and have no common decency and respect? This is not my opinion. Like, I'm a father, so I volunteered in schools. I've been around the schools. I know what goes on and what doesn't go on. I know I'm in tune. Believe me, I am in tune with the things that are going on. And I'm telling you, without a doubt, not only are children being failed by parents, men and women alike, but society at large is being failed because people do not want to take accountability for their children, for their own mistakes, and things like that. So, as a result, women are quitting. Women are more likely to work part-time, and the turnover rate for women's occupations is much higher than men. It's about 10% higher than men. So, don't believe me. Market Insider, turnover much higher for women in retail, consumer goods, and that study finds. Now, interestingly, there's actually legal discrimination, gender-based discrimination in hiring. So women get preferential hiring in places like Starbucks. 69% of Starbucks employees are women, and they said that they specifically did that to bridge the gender gap. So it's legal to discriminate against men in order to fix the wage gap. I don't understand how you can offset, how you can eliminate discrimination by enduring discrimination. Then women will only hire themselves for low-paying jobs, never move up, never improve their skills, or if they do improve their skills, it's not in a way that makes them more employable. It's just like, they get certificates that don't actually make them better workers. It just makes them feel better. And then they complain when they're not getting the results that they desire. Like, every instance of it, they will still blame men. It's really crazy. It is really crazy. Now, the thing that I think that is so crazy is that women actually get preferential hiring. So if you get social services, there's a program called Welfare to Work, which means that you have a higher probability of being hired at a particular job. So basically, there's no place that will hire men preferentially because of a statute or something like that. So this is why you see so many black women at places like DMV and HR jobs, because the Welfare to Work program actually gave them preferential hiring because an employer that hires these women gets a double credit. You get a credit for hiring a minority, a tax deduction credit, and then you get a credit for hiring somebody who was previously on TANF. They say that on the application. So I'm telling you that women have been getting a leg up. Now, where it becomes troublesome for me as a taxpayer is that these women that get a leg up, get preferential hiring, they get subsidies for food, housing, and education. The education and subsidies that they get does not translate to better children. Children that grow up in these single women head of household families are more likely to still go through poverty. Not because they lack opportunity, it's because they lack financial sophistication. They refuse to live within and below their means. They get endless amounts of credit, and once the subsidies go away, specifically once they're not getting any more child support and all of the other subsidies that they have run out, then they become 40 and 50-year-old and women who go through poverty, and their children are more likely to repeat the cycle of poverty that they have helped to create. This is America, where equality is not equality. The idea of equality means that all average women want the same output as the top 5 to 10% of men who have put in the work, time, and effort to be the best of the best. They don't care about the input. They don't care about the input. They only care about the output. They don't care about putting in equal hours, equal work. They just want the equal outcome. They want the equal money. I mean, even to the point to where women don't even invest as much as men. Women don't invest in startups the way that men do, which is why men are better off. Most of Silicon Valley investment started from rappers who were getting out of the rap game. So rappers like Chamillionaire and E40 of the Bay Area are pioneers and have invested in the early stages of Silicon Valley, as well as rappers like MC Hammer, who's, has a stigma of being broke when he has hit it big. The rapper Nas was an early investor in Lyft. I can go on. Kobe Bryant also invested in Silicon Valley before his passing. So we're not talking about equality. We're talking about entitlement.